what is the selection process like to go through American Buds as a Korean SEAL?
Uh, I
Like,
mean,
how do
it
they
was very
pick?
similar. I think the water in Korea is a lot colder because, it's. Can I say that it's summer all year round in San Diego? It's kind of like summer all year round. It's not like that in Korea. We have 4 seasons, and winter is literally winter. But we're still gonna hit the surf in the middle of winter. But in San Diego, it could be a winter class, but it's not really winter. It's not snowing or anything like that. So I think the water's a lot colder in Korea. So there were definitely easier aspects about U.S. Buds. When I was going through, I was like, wow, this is cool. I get to go down the street and get some ice cream, go to the burger joint, and that was really cool. It was like a treasure. You go
Yeah.
through training, and then sometimes you get off at 4, 5, and that wasn't too bad at all. So the timed evolutions, I mean, they're not bad at all. The swims, the runs, and I was a swimmer at an early age, so the swimming was pretty easy. Pool comp. Everyone says pool comp is tough, but it has to do with me being a swimmer at an early age. So pool comp was actually very relaxing. But the drown proofing, I mean, that's very easy. The knot tying, all the water stuff was actually my thing. Uh, the running, I mean, they're not. It's not like really hard, so it
Yeah.
wasn't too bad. The O course, I didn't really get to practice too much of the O course. I think that's what sucks about being a foreigner in Buds because they didn't really teach me the O course. It's like just do it. I'm like, dude, the other guys, I mean, they had tons of time to practice, and I just have to do it. I'm like, all right, this isn't fair. But yeah, so the O course kind of sucked. But to the other guys, the O course was pretty easy. I mean, they had months to prepare.
Yeah. So do you have an O course going through Rock SEAL training, and is it totally different?
Yes, it's a little different, similar in ways, but different, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. I apologize. I obviously didn't phrase my question appropriately. What I was curious about was the selection process to go through American Buds as a Rock SEAL. What does that entail, and how do they decide who to send through American SEAL training?
Okay. Yeah. So there's a application process, and if it's once every 3 years, I'll see the notice, and I'll be like, okay, so maybe I want to try this out, and I'll put in my packet. I'll put in my application, and there's an English exam that I have to take. There's also just a standard writing exam, and the writing exam could be subjects on Korean history or whatever, just a standard government writing exam. And then there's recommendations and also kind of an interview. So it's like applying for a job. And the reason why they have this process is because they don't want to just send anybody. They want to send somebody that can represent Korea in a positive way and that will actually be serious about completing the training. So they look at all of that, and I got accepted. And usually, the Korean students they would actually have to go to DLI first in San Antonio, Texas, which is they would have to do an English course. I didn't have to do that because I'm fluent already, so I went straight to San Diego.
Yeah. And to my knowledge, it never happens. Has there ever been any American SEALs that they send through Rock SEAL training?
No, the only foreigners that we accept are the Bangladesh. They're
Really?
trying to set up their SEAL program. Yeah. So we'll have Bangladesh naval officers or enlisted, and they'll come to Rock Buzz, and yeah, they'll go through our process.
Yeah. So the big burning question: American Hell Week versus Korean Hell Week. Which one's tougher?
I think if I had to do it again, I would like to go through U.S. Buzz. It feels more of a more of a job actually, whereas Rock Buzz is just a kind of like prison almost.
Really?
Yeah, U.S. Buzz feels more of a maybe a tough physical job, whereas Rock Buzz more like a prison.
Is that just
It
because
really
it's so
sucks at
locked
the end.
down?
Yeah, because you're confined to base. I mean, if you pass all the evolutions, because I didn't fail in any of the evolutions, so I was able to get out for a few hours or maybe a day from base on the weekends. But yeah, for most students, they ain't leaving base. They're staying on base.
Yeah.
So that could feel like prison. That really sucks. And if you
Oh
have a
man.
girlfriend, you're gonna probably end up breaking up with her. Yeah,
Yeah.
family stuff even more.
Yeah. I can imagine. It sounds tough, man. From a gear and equipment, I know you said that the stuff, all the different gear and equipment that Rock Seals use is very similar to American SEALs. Is it exactly the same, or can you say what weapons platforms you guys use?
Yes. So I think the weapons ours are better, but I know Dev Group they've switched over. Uh, our our seals use the HK416, and there are other weapons that we use as well in terms of carbines, but HK416 would be the primary carbine nowadays because the government wants us to use more Korean weapons. We have our version of the carbine as well. But when U.S. SEALs train with us, um, the regular teams they use M4s. So they said there are weapons that are better, much more solid. They shoot tighter, and our our SEALs we have a lot of our SEALs use the four tubes, and this is funny because so usually in the tier one units they have the quad nods, right? Well, our SEALs they have quad nods, and we have the PBS 31 as well. But the older guys, they always give up their quad to the junior guys because they want to use the PBS 31s. And the reason being is because the binos are lighter. So it's funny. The younger guys will get to use the quad. It's a
Yeah,
funny thing. But
it's classic.
yeah, I think equipment wise, our equipment could be a lot better than the US bullets, than the US SEALs, but not better than their tier one units.
Yeah. Pistol wise, what do you guys use?
Both the Glock and the SIG. So we had a huge order of SIG 226s, the Navy version, but then Glock would be getting more popular, so we use both.
Yeah,
Nowadays, it's mostly Glocks.
yeah. And kind of auxiliary weapons, like, we have the M79 grenade launcher, which goes, I mean, all the way back to Vietnam. And at least when I was in, we were still using it. I don't know if they still use it. I mean, they should. It's a great platform. But like the Carl Gustaf or any type of shoulder-fired rocket, claymores, stuff like that, are you guys all using that same stuff, or do you have your own versions of that?
No, we don't have Carl Gustavs. I've been trying to push for that. We haven't been able to get them in. In terms of rockets, so we don't use the in-laws or any other heavy rockets yet, but it's still the regular law because it's easier to carry, they're lighter, so we still use that. Um, Grenade launchers, we don't use the M79, but some guys in the units they'll have grenade launcher under their carbine, like the 203 grenade launcher. Yeah, but yeah,
Any,
we use claymores. We use the same demo equipment.
yeah. In that same realm as in terms of your actual kit, whether it's chest harnesses, plates, camis, boots, all that kind of stuff. Are you using Korean made stuff, or is it a lot of American made stuff?
No, it's a lot of American-made stuff. So our unit is fortunate to have a special funding. We have special funding, so we get our funding from different sources. Usually, it's the Ministry of Defense, but we a large portion is from the National Intelligence Service, so our version of the CIA, and because of that, we're authorized to use foreign-made equipment. Usually, it's only the tier one units that can use foreign-made equipment. The rest of the Korean military, they have to use Korean-made equipment. It's kind of
Yeah,
like a law, but we're exempt from that law. So our plate carriers, our helmets, I mean, it's the same that what you guys use. So we'll contact Ops Corps, we'll get Ops Corps helmets, we'll contact CRY to get uniforms and plate carriers, and yeah, we'll buy them from them.
yeah. Yeah, it's tough to beat. I mean, that stuff is so top notch. I mean, it's like they're always evolving and always on the cutting edge. I kind of catch hell because I'm always asking about food. Like I had a Foreign Legion guy on, and I was asking him what they ate. I'm just always curious about whether it's like MREs or chow, generally speaking. Having been through, American buds and comparing the food, obviously there's a huge cultural difference, but you grew up primarily in the United States. Did you find the food was tough to get used to as a rock seal?
Uh, the Korean food or the U.S. food? U.S. food at
Well,
Buds?
well, well, the Korean food, having basically grown up in the United States, when you joined the Korean military, was eating Korean military food a tough adjustment?
No, not really. I mean, because I was raised by Korean parents, I had Korean food in the house. So, but military food is a little different. It's not the best.
Yeah,
But yeah, it wasn't too bad. I mean,
yeah,
especially when you're in training. I mean, you're always hungry, so you would eat anything.
yeah,
But definitely the food at US Buzz. I mean, it was great. The galley, wow, it's
yeah,
basically a buffet. It's not
yeah.
like that in Korea. You don't really have a buffet. I mean, you have a few items, but the galley was like, geez. I mean, they're
Yeah,
going all out.
yeah. Going to Sizzler every time.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
about MREs? Do you guys have like Korean specific MREs, or do you guys import American ones?
Our unit does both. So we do like MREs just because of the way they're packaged. Strong packaging. You can break them down, and they won't take up too much space. But Korean MREs are actually pretty good too. So we use both. It depends on it's more of a individual preference. When I was in, I did buy US MREs for the most part, but nowadays I think Korean MREs are more popular.
What's an example or maybe a couple of examples of Korean MRE meals?
So it's called bibimbap, and it's always served on Korean Air as the main dish, but it's basically mixed rice. So think of rice with vegetables and meat, and you mix it together with hot sauce. It's convenient. It's good. It's a Korean traditional dish, so it's easily packageable as well. So that's why usually the Korean MREs will consist of bibimbap.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah,
mostly what they are.
yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
there,
meat,
so
vegetables, and rice mixed together.
yeah. So unlike the American versions where there's like beef stew and chili mac and enchiladas and hot dogs, like there's a whole
Mhm.
mix. The Korean MREs are pretty one dimensional by comparison.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
uh, in addition, but we do have soup, so like miso soup.
Oh, okay. That
Yeah,
doesn't
I don't
seem
think.
super handy.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think MREs have soup, but yeah, we usually have soup in our MREs.
Yeah. What can you tell us about the deployments that you went on? Obviously, you did two to Somalia doing hostage rescue stuff. Can you share many of the details of any of the missions that you went on?
Yeah, yeah. So this was back in 2009. A lot of piracy going on, and if so, it was a international task force out there, and it wasn't just a Korean ship. I was on a Korean destroyer, and there are other countries' destroyers out there. But when when a situation occurs, there's a huge siren. It's like, okay, this is not a drill, so we put on all our equipment, we wait for a mission, and we don't know what's really going on. So we would have to wait for the ship officers to let us know what the situation is. So we'll, we'll eventually find out, and the captain, he wants to execute a boarding, and we'll see what kind of ship it is, what the situation is, if there are hostages on board, if this is going to be a rescue operation. And usually we have to do it on short notice. There's really no time for planning. Um, our destroyer would close in on the target, and eventually we'll have to, if we do get the green light. So there are a lot of cases when the mission just gets canked. You know, they don't want to do it for some reason, or another vessel is going to take it, like another country's vessel or whatever, because they're closer. But it's usually the closest ship will do the operation, or it's a capability issue. So sometimes there's another country's vessel that's closer, but they don't have a boarding team that's capable of doing a high risk rescue operation. It could just be a regular BBSS team, like a Navy BBSS team, and they're not capable to do hostage rescue. So sometimes we'll get the green light even though we're far away. and we've had a few countries that let us do the mission. So it depends on the country. They call it a level 4 high risk boarding or something like that. And we were fortunate to do some of those boardings. We would normally have 3 ribs on our destroyer, 3 ribs, and we would lower the ribs. We'd approach, we'd do a climb, and we'd do the BBSS operation.
Did all of those missions go smooth and you were able to rescue the hostages? Were there any instances where you guys were actually killing pirates in doing so? Did any of them ever go wrong?
No, all the missions that we've done, they were successful. Actually, the missions that I've done, we were able to complete the missions without even firing a shot because a
Oh,
lot of the
wow.
pirates, yeah, sometimes they won't even start a fight. They'll just throw their weapons overboard, trying to get rid of their proof that they're pirates. They'll try to get rid of all of that, and it could be weapons, ammunition, knives, GPSs, anything that could link them back to piracy. They'll try to get rid of it. So they'll see us approaching, and I can see them like throwing shit overboard, and we'll do the climb, and then we'll put them in handcuffs. We'll have to scan them, and then report back. We collect all the documents. We do the SSC and all that. But usually, yeah, we can take down the ship without even firing a shot. Now there was a high profile mission involving Korean hostages, and this was 2011. So I was not in that rotation. But the Rock Seals, they executed that mission very well, and this was a high risk boarding. Um, the first mission actually failed. It was a 2 stage mission. The first mission, 3 operators were shot. Uh, they weren't killed, fortunately, but 3 operators were shot by the pirates. Um, so they had to do the second stage a few days later. It was like a couple of days later, and they did the second stage. And I believe it was 13 pirates and 21 hostages. So imagine a ship with 13 pirates and 21 hostages. That's a difficult operation. Now the outcome, they rescued all 21 hostages. They were mostly Korean hostages. It was a Korean ship. And out of the 13 pirates, 8 were killed and 5 were captured.
Wow. What,
Yeah.
from a jurisdiction standpoint, what happens to the captured pirates? Do you guys take them to Korea and prosecute them, or what do you do with them?
Yes, so it's situational dependent. The mission that I just talked about, 5 pirates were captured. They were all brought back to Korea. They were put on trial. And
Do you know what
they're in a
happened to
Korean
them?
prison. Yeah, they're in a Korean prison.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
What a wild ride for a Somali pirate to end up in a Korean prison. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, huh?
Yeah.
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 But it seems like they're doing well. I mean, there was a documentary on them, and you know how like pirates they usually look very skinny and
Yeah.
very poor, but they've gotten fat. Looks like Korean prison's treating them well. Yeah. Out of the hostages, so all hostages were rescued, all 21. None of the SEALs there were no casualties, but out of the hostages, the captain of the ship, he was shot 3 times by
Wow.
the pirates. Yeah, one of the pirates turned around and shot him, and fortunately he lived though. He went through intensive surgery, and the captain was able to survive.
Wow. Yeah, that's amazing. When you were at the SDV team, did you do any real world missions as a part of that?
So we did reconnaissance missions, but they weren't any action. Well, no like live fire, you know, going back and forth.
Yeah.
All strictly
And
reconnaissance.
I assume it was all reconnaissance on North Korea.
Yes.
Yeah. Any close calls? I mean, is it from your time there, or just, I guess, to your knowledge, have there been instances of South Korean SDVs getting rolled up and getting into gunfights, or anything bad happening with North Korean forces?
No, no, none like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the STBs were actually designed to take out enemy ships. So it's kind of like the World War II era where STBs, or back then they were called like manned torpedoes. They would get close to a ship. They would use a limpet mine, put it on the ship, and the swimmers would back off and blow them up. So that's what the main mission is for our SDBs.
Does that happen often? I mean, are you guys actually taking out North Korean ships on a regular basis?
No, I mean that's the intent of our SDBs, but that does not happen often. No, it's more of an older strategy, older tactic, and
Yeah.
yeah, SDBs nowadays it's more used as a transport vehicle and for reconnaissance.
Okay. So the two deployments with the hostage rescue stuff off the coast of Somalia, your time at SDV, did you get out of the military after that, or did you do subsequent deployments in any other capacity?
Yeah, so when I got back from the U.S., I went to the training command. Uh, so basically, our version of Naval Special Warfare Center, and got to run some courses there. Bring some. I brought a lot of feedback, obviously, because I didn't just go through BUDS. I went through Junior Officer Training Course and also SQT. So I was in the U.S. for a while, going through the entire pipeline. I was able to graduate with Class 295 because you know how like officers they have to go through JOTC first
Yeah.
before they go to SQT. So my BUDS class 294 did JOTC, and then when I classed up again with SQT, it was 295
Yeah.
since I had to go
Okay.
through JOTC. But yeah, when I got back, I was able to bring a lot of updates, and I was very fortunate to go to our training battalion and got to run some courses there. So that was good. I did that for a while, and I put in my application to leave the Navy because there were a lot of old-fashioned people in the higher brass, and some guys they just didn't want to accept a lot of the updates that I brought back. You know, they're too old-fashioned. They're not open to change. They thought U.S. tactics they're good, but they're it's not like the key to everything. So some guys were not open to change. So because of that, I was like, okay, so I should probably leave and pursue another career or similar career. So I got out and actually did the PMC thing for a while. I went to Iraq, so I did security contracting, and
How was
that was
that?
fun. Yeah, that was fun too because that was back in 2015, sorry, 2016 ish. So Mosul was a big problem back then. ISIS was a big problem. So a lot of sketchy, dodgy stuff going on there, but it was mostly IDs going off. So I had some close calls. Um, did that for a little bit, and then I joined the U.S. State Department. I was able to work in South Korea though, so at the embassy. So the embassy would be the main office, but because of the Pyeongchang Winter Olympics, I did security management for that event. So that was pretty cool. And then I put in my application for the United Nations. So at the UN, that was also very interesting as well because you know how CIA officers, the officers that handle spies, sometimes they'll have bodyguards with them,
Yeah.
GRS, the response staff. It's a similar thing. So I did a lot of protecting for the special rapporteur or for human rights officers that would work in hostile environments. So yeah, I was a UN security officer, and I was able to go to different countries. It was pretty cool because they do some good work as well. Um, that's the first time I heard about the Rohingya camps. So I was able to go to the Rohingya camps. I went to Bangladesh, Thailand with the special rapporteur, and it looked like they were doing some really good work. And it was my job to keep them safe. And sometimes it's just me as the security officer, and I would have to rely on the locals, and sometimes I would have to pay off the locals. So that was interesting.
Really?
Yeah,
What?
there's a special fund that I can use to pay off local police officers. That way, they won't give up our location or our routes.
Yeah, that's. I mean, what kind of bribes or payoffs are you having to give them amount wise?
It depends, but they'll go like this, and sometimes it's a negotiation. I'll give them like a brick of dollars, and sometimes they want more. I'll have to give them another brick, but yeah, there's a fun for that, and I didn't know that the UN had something like that. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.